action.
Let's go.
Welcome into
Oh, jeez.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
It's my fault.
We got Unc.
He's here. What's up, Unc? I'm sorry.
I don't, Jake, man, ever since that Cowboys game, you and I just been out of sync, man. We just
Oh, man, please.
stay lined up for us.
As I texted Unc and you the other day, Harbaugh left because Jake never wished the Cowboys good luck.
He did. And watch this. Speaking of, I was talking to you guys before the show started of my bookshelf that collapsed. I got something for Jake right here.
Oh, God.
Is it
Jake, this is for you, Jake. All right?
Hey.
Wow. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah,
it says God bless.
You weren't there for me, Jake. I was there for you, but you weren't there for me.
Well, it's all right. My football life is basically over now.
Hey, I thought you were just going to be a Chargers fan now.
No, that is not happening. Not at all.
He wouldn't denounce the Chargers, so
I did denounce the Chargers.
ipso facto, he's a Chargers fan.
No, I did denounce the Chargers. We're presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. What's up, Unc? How you been, man? How's Jackson?
Man, it's good. When I got back home, it was colder here than it was there, and now it's about 80. So
No way.
Wow.
like we've gone from 15 degrees to 68 and 72. But it's all good, man. It's also foggy all over the United States. Where does fog come from? It's like Thanos coming or something?
Maybe.
Are we foggy today?
No, I don't think so.
Mostly just overcast.
It was cloudy driving in, but it
Yeah.
wasn't anything crazy.
Fog in Denver is pretty rare.
Yeah, usually
foggy
it's
here,
just
man.
snow. Snow that blocks your view. All right, Unc. We have a few things we got to get your take on here.
All right.
Yesterday, we saw that some NCAA violations came down that Colorado admitted to. We read through them all. They're all extremely minor, just ridiculous NCAA stuff. But
Actually, just funny.
they are actually really just funny. What was your take on the whole thing?
My take on it was just that they're funny. It's amazing some of the rules that the NCAA has in place. I think that the fans, when you see that there was a self-reporting of violation, everybody's like, oh my God, what happened? What are we doing? We've lost institutional control. And then you see one of them is, you can't have Kamani in a uniform lined up against somebody. Like, come on, man.
Even if that person has been retired from football for many years.
And had a jacked up foot at the time,
couldn't
too.
even run if he wanted to.
Yeah. And then what was the other? You had someone who was not
The
officially
yoga.
on staff teaching yoga.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah, well, much to do about nothing, man. Self-reported, no major infractions, thereby no major punishment. So it's just one of those things that happens in programs literally across the nation. And that's why when you become aware of them, you self-report. I think Coach Hart was at a high school game and took a picture with a kid, because the guy asked for the picture. And the next day realized, hey, maybe there's something I need to tell somebody. So it was just little stuff like that. And I know when people see the headlines, they see Colorado, they see Coach Prime, they see NCAA violations, and they're like, oh, we got him. No, you don't. No, you
Yep. And in the end, this is a classic case of no one would ever hear about it unless the microscope was on Colorado. And it's happening everywhere. People are, self-reporting every single year as a way to kind of show the NCAA that they have control over what's going on. And, people make these mistakes because the rule book is so dense. But if it weren't for the fact that Colorado, any and everything that happens around the program is newsworthy, no one would have ever even heard about this.
I agree. And if you would go to the NCAA site and look at all the other schools who self-reported something, you would spend the night going through it. It's just that when it's Colorado and Coach Prime, it becomes, newsworthy. And so let me tell you about the nuances. So you can have a player who's like visiting, like Cormani was at that time. He can put on a uniform and he can get in a football stance, but it has to be like in the hallway, what we call the thunder shoot. He can't do it like on the field and somebody else with him, or it looks like you're practicing.
Right.
If anyone knew of Coach Prime with the day that picture was taken and the status of his foot, you know damn well they weren't doing drills.
Right.
But it's that same picture, for the people who've been on the field and in the Thunder shoot, that same picture literally 20 yards to the left would be fine. But it was on the grass. And so it looks like you're simulating practice, and you can't do that. But it's just little things like that, man. I don't think that this is a major issue at all or major concern at all.
No, it shouldn't be a major concern.
What I don't understand is why make rules that you can't police.
Yep.
Like which one specifically?
Just like that one. So the whole point of that rule is not taking pictures. The whole point of that rule is they don't want teams to like work players out
right
when they come out and put them on the field, which personally I feel like you should be able to do. It'd be great. But you're not allowed to do that. How would you ever know? Colorado could have run a full practice in the indoor practice facility that day and had Cormani playing left corner.
Yeah.
And no one in the world would have ever known as long as, no one took a picture or posted. So, there's so many of the NCAA rules. That's why you see these self-reported violations. The NCAA knows they can't police them. They also know that no one isn't breaking any rules because there's so many of them. So you're left. You have to self-report so they're not looking and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" When I was a kid, we had a family friend who was a police officer, and it was like we asked him is there a quota on how many tickets you have to give out? He's like, no, but if you gave out 0 tickets, your boss would be like, you're clearly not doing your job because there's always someone speeding somewhere. Right. And it's the same thing here. It's like the NCAA is like, you didn't self-report anything. Are you even paying attention? Maybe we need to come take a look. But there's so many rules in there that cannot be policed.
Well, I agree with you, RK. And you look at the Coach Hart situation, you err on the side of someone tweeting or posting and saying, hey, linebacker coach at Colorado's an asshole. He wouldn't take a picture with my son. And all he did was took a picture with the kid. It's not like they were recruiting and come to dinner, fly, let's get on the private jet and go to Boulder. I mean, it was just a kid asked for a picture. But you self-report that kind of thing. But it's just like you said, RK, I agree. I mean, it's a phone book of rule books, and a lot of it is unenforceable. And when programs are doing the due diligence, like Coach Prime is, when you catch that you did it, you voluntarily turn it in.
And to go back to your point about, they should be able to work kids out or whatever on the field or something. We're already in this weird middle ground where we're leaving amateurism and becoming a semi-professional / completely professional sport. They do that stuff in the NFL. The fact that we you can't have a guy run or something just to make sure he's healthy. You don't know what's kind of really what you're buying there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so true. Now that you're gonna pay,
exactly,
$500,000 for a backup lineman,
right?
You should be able to take a look at how they look on the field. I actually don't. I shouldn't implicate anyone here, but I've heard some stories from a team that had basketball visitors play basketball. And some legendary stories of players who went on to the NBA and stuff like that. Of oh, dude, this dude came in at 17 years old. We had open gym, and he dropped 50 on us.
Yeah.
So
it's not like it doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, I just think RK, that you have to look what you just touched on your early comment. You got to look at the intent. The intent is to get a picture of a guy in a uniform. So he can put it on his social media, and so that, you can have, record of your official visit, that kind of thing. And the fact that a coach or a potential or future or even another recruit that's on the same visit can't stand across from you in the picture because it looks like you were practicing when clearly you weren't practicing. It was just a picture. So you can't even pose for pictures, with other people. So I would need the people out to understand that's the kind of thing that was self-reported. And that's the kind of thing that comes with those minimal, all right, we appreciate you telling us, just keep moving forward.
Yep.
All right. Shout out to our friends over at Empire Today. You guys have Empire Today out there in Mississippi, Unc? You know the jingle?
Is that the carpet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the commercials. Yeah,
Empire.
Yeah, I know the song. Never called them.
Are you gonna sing it for us?
No. I'm not. I make this commit. I make this commit, Jay. Next time in studio, I'm singing Empire, and I will do the reading and the ad. How about
Can't
that?
There we
wait.
go.
Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. Can't beat them on quality, service, and speed. They've got everything that you need, no matter what your situation is. You can even use their like digital tools to help out and see which flooring exactly you want in your house. You can call them right now. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 discount off when they use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. So go to empiretoday.com/DNVR for the details, and make sure to use that promo code DNVR for $350 off.
You didn't update the doc.
I know, my bad. Circle K.
Big shout out to Circle K. Best in the biz. And check this out, guys. I've just received an urgent message, and it's not Cannonball. If you text DNVR to 31310, you can get a free soda from Circle K today.
Let's go.
Any size. Supersize it.
I know where I'm going after this.
If they say any size, you got to supersize.
Totally. You could be like, who was it yesterday? Was it Chidoze who tweeted like, I've got two extra plates from the cafeteria in my fridge right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just get the supersize. You come home, parcel it out into some smaller ones if you don't want the whole thing. But either way, get down to Circle K today and cash in on that. We love Circle K.
Big fans of Circle K here. All right, Unc. It is now January 26th.
Yeah.
The Colorado Buffaloes do not have a defensive coordinator. What can you tell us? What's the latest that you can share?
I remember this press conference from years ago with Aaron Rodgers when they thought the wheels were coming off, and he said RELAX. And then they went on to come to Cowboy Stadium and beat us. So I'm saying relax. Coach Prime knows what he's doing. There's still a lot of moving parts out there. I just as much as I believed 3 weeks ago and 4 or 5 weeks ago that everyone is going to be blown away with the candidate when announced. I'm trusting and believing Prime, man. Nothing has changed. A lot of times these guys who are involved in these negotiations and, now, man, believe it or not, to the fans out there, coaches have agents. It's more than just a one-on-one conversation these days. Mm-hmm. And then the real good one, guess what else? They have other offers. So as the NFL shakes loose, as coaching is moving around, who knew 2 weeks ago, Jake, that Harbaugh was leaving and the shakeup is going to do that staff. So you have all these dominoes in that industry, but it won't be long before we have our DC announced. And the defense will be much improved because of it.
You have a guess on when we might know?
I'm thinking by late next week, early week after, because once we start really getting into, strength and conditioning, and then in February you can have some offense and defensive meetings, I think it'll be done by then.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think it's gotten to the point now where no one has any choice but to relax.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do?
You can't panic about it every day. There was, I think, a lot of people who did panic at one point, and you just can't keep that up. This is not a pace that you can stay on a day-to-day basis. So you got to trust in Coach Prime. You got to trust in his network.
The escalator's a steady pace to the top.
It is true. So yeah.
And I'll say this, guys, and this is not some bullet point off of a talking point spreadsheet or something. This is just real football, real calendar. If you were to have any window in a 12-month period that you didn't have a DC name, this is the window you would want it to be, because there is literally no install, no defensive meetings taking place, no measurements of who's going to play in what position. This is the window of time, and y'all feel free to run this back should this happen. If we go into April and we ain't got a DC, okay, hit the panic button, because now we're practicing. But right now, if you had to pick a day, late January to the first week of February and not have a coordinator in place, there's a lot of other teams around the country, man, who've done exemplary things in college football with their seasons that still don't have their full staff in place as well. So I wouldn't panic yet. This is the time to not worry.
Well, in yesterday's, I think it was Wall Off for Rich People. I can't remember which one, but Trevor Woods was talking to, I think it was Darius. And he mentioned, we don't have a DC right now, but he said, if you need a coach watching over you to make sure you're doing your work, then he pretty much said you're not really built for it then. Like, you shouldn't need to have someone watching over you to make sure you're doing what you have to do on a day-to-day basis, especially, as Unc said, this time of the year when it's really just about working out, trying to get stuff in order so that when football does happen, you're just ready to go full speed into that.
Totally. I mean, the great ones do it when no one's watching because they're doing it for themselves.
Shout out to Trevor Woods for that comment, man. I missed that. That is spot damn on. You've got the strength and conditioning staff, Coach Mo and his guys standing over him, motivating, that kind of thing. And, of course, you have position coaches, even head coach meandering around watching the workouts, but there's no instruction or anything taking place. And so, like Trevor said, man, if you're on the defense for Colorado and you ain't giving it your all in Coach Mo's workout room because we don't have a DC, you're probably transferring after the spring game.
Amen. Speaking of getting the work in, do you see the video I think that Coach Reyes posted of Travis working out
today? Yeah.
Bro, he's doing those hurdles with like broad jumps.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's jumping on a trampoline.
It doesn't make sense how he gets so high up.
He's literally launching.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah, it is. And I tell you this, man, when you talk about just leaping ability, I'm going Travis number one, but when you scale it, that damn Jimmy Horn Jr., man, he has got some pops. Like it is back when Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb was in the dunk contest. These other guys are doing it. But
how about Nate Robinson?
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like Travis and Jimmy, they can get up and go get the ball.
Well, I think Jimmy came in at a 39-inch vert.
I think so. That's like top of the line NFL combine numbers.
Yeah, for sure. And I would venture to guess Travis is higher than that.
From what we saw today, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Insane.
I think I've seen some real growth from Travis, though, just as a leader, mostly as a vocal leader, especially when you look back at the Marine Corps workout, how he's just leading everyone, kind of dictating the pace. It feels like Travis is just kind of ascending altogether.
I've never seen anything like it. He did that whole workout. Again, we saw him do it after the sprints.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone went over and interviewed him right after it, and he wasn't even gasping for air. Then he does the military workout, and he's not sweating, and he's not gasping for air. How is that possible?
But everybody got mad at me when I said Travis couldn't go to a game and not miss anything when he went to the Nuggets game. This guy can roll out of bed. He's ready to go, man. He is a phenomenal athlete. I would say there's probably not a better, as far as conditioning goes, there's not a better athlete in college sports, not just college football, in college sports.
I don't disagree. I truly cannot wait to see him on the field again.
With that, we saw the Marine Corps workout. Coach Prime has kind of done these things before. Just your thoughts on how beneficial that is for the team, not only physically, but just, mentally, emotionally off the field, what it means to be tighter as brothers.
Yeah, I think it's just that, Jake. I don't think that when you have, as Coach Mo calls it, chaos day, when you have those chaos workouts, I don't think it has anything to do with your individual cardiovascular strength, your individual muscle strength of getting stronger. It is all about bringing the team close together because you're working out as units and you challenge each other and you got to be there to uplift each other. That's one of those kind of workouts that's just purely designed to bring the team closer together. Again, something that you don't have to have a DC in the building to accomplish. And so when you see these guys go through that rigorous workout with the Marine Corps, with the coaches standing over them, and one of the things you want to look for in a team, and it starts to happen right about now through the spring game, you want to have a player-led team. You want to see leaders on the team emerge vocally, demanding things. Because here's the deal, guys. If they're only doing what the coaches say do, and they're not holding each other accountable, it means that we don't have leaders, and it means just locker room is just running amok because if you're not holding somebody accountable, it's because you don't want to be held accountable. So no one's saying pick up that sock because your damn sock is on the ground. And so these guys are going through these little things right now and getting tougher and tougher. and it's just January. January is coming to a close, but you can see even the new guys look like they've been there 6 months.
Yep.
100%.
You mentioned Herman Smith last time you were on the show. You said he was here. Just what can you tell us about him as a person and as a player?
Quality human being, man. Once he gets settled and his sense of humor starts to come out, like he is he's a notch or two below Shiloh, but he's got some Shiloh in him as far as running that mouth. And I think he's going to have a bigger impact on special teams. That's not to say he's not going to get out there on the secondary, but when you got Shiloh and Trevor out there and the guys who are coming in the corner, as he's working his way into game reps, his impact is really going to be felt on special teams. He is a hard hitter. He got interceptions while at Jackson State and also on special teams, caused some fumbles and recovered the fumble after hitting the guy. So he's a workaholic, man, big body kid, strong kid, out of San Diego, went to Jackson State, and then did this past season, I think, was it Idaho or Iowa? I get them mixed up. I think it was Idaho.
Idaho State.
Yeah, Idaho State. And now he's reunited with Coach Mathis and Coach Prime. So he knows the system, knows the players, knows what the head coach and the position coach expect. So it's not going to take him a long time to really get ingrained with the rest of the guys, because he knows what Coach Mathis expects. He knows what Coach Trevor expects, because he was at Jackson State as well. And he's one of those guys, man, get this, because of his size, like Trevor was doing, and he's a little bigger than Trevor, he can go down and play linebacker some. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him, fill a void in that LB room in some schemes once we get to that part of the season.
All right, Unc. Coach Prime is not afraid to rank his favorite children as they stand. So I'm going to have Uncle Neely rank his favorite nephews. We did our My Guys draft yesterday. We each picked 5 guys that we're putting our stamp on. That's my guy this year. So I won't make you pick against our picks. Give us your 5 My Guys 2024.
My Guys 2024. Now, I'm going to do something that you guys probably didn't do. I'm going to slide QB1 and Travis to the side.
Okay. We technically did that. We did this last year around this time, and we those guys were on the table. I drafted Shedeur first. He drafted Travis first. So this year we just called it like Team Shedeur, Team Travis.
There you go. That's where I'm headed. So I those two, they're off the table because they're automatically on the table. So give me, in no particular order, 5. Give me Tyler Brown. That's going to be one of my favorites. Give me Shiloh. That's going to be 2. Give me Jimmy Horn, receiver 3. Man, linebacker room is so up in the air, but I'm going to go with Bentley just off damn heart.
Yeah.
The guy is killing it in the weight room and his just work ethic and intensity already. So what we got: Tyler, Shiloh, Jimmy, Bentley. D-line, I just don't know. I don't know yet. We're going to see. So let me go with one of the new guys on offensive line. Let me go with Khalil Benson.
Nice.
Love
That's
it.
a good list. Not too much overlap.
No,
I had Shiloh.
you did. Tyler and Jimmy didn't go this time.
Yep, they were on last year's teams. So there you go. All right, that's a good list.
Yeah. Let me shoot some holes in my list, man. Jimmy is my guy. I just named him, but our receiver room is loaded again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I picked LeJounte Wester.
And you ain't wrong. You ain't crazy. Our secondary is loaded. The only place I have a question mark, and let me say this to the people out there watching, it's not a question mark relative to like doubting. It's relative to I don't know the guy yet, and that's the defensive line, because that room is loaded, and that room is re-energized and refocused with bigger bodies. So it's going to be interesting to see, how they alpha dog each other and who emerges. I think right now the leader is Shane Coates by default. Being the second year here, Colorado, being the older guy in the room, having the experience. But I'm interested to see as we get from now to April, who's going to fight for that spot of, no, this is my room.
I love it. I love how our last episode of the year during the season, you were recruiting Shane to come back. I kind of thought we would get like an announcement or something from him, but now he just showed up. He's like, "Yep, I'm back to work."
It reminded me of when Michael Jordan came back with the press release that said, "I'm back."
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I thought in this day of fanfare for college athletes, I thought Shane would do that graphic or something too, man. But he just said, "No, I'm back. I'm here."
I respect that though.
Oh yeah, you got to respect it. And here's one thing we got to understand, man. Even when we get to the end of spring ball, college football now, guys, you got to re-recruit your own team. You just can't assume someone's staying with you or coming back. If you want a guy, you got to sit down and talk to him.
Yep.
You mentioned Jimmy Horn as one of your guys, and you mentioned how loaded this wide receivers room is. I'm not going to ask you how you think it's going to shake out because we're just still so early, but just with the combination of the two grad transfer guys, all the guys we have coming back from last year, and the new guys, the younger guys who've been brought in, it just seems like it could be a bit crowded. Do you think there's a distinct advantage that someone like Jimmy Horn has just being on the team from last year?
Absolutely, I do. But I also think here's the equalizer. I think the equalizer is you got a new position coach in Jason Phillips. And so everybody has something to prove. Your last year film was just that, it's last year. And what's going to be interesting to me is to see how these guys come together as a team through this strength and conditioning that Coach Mo is taking them through, but also understand I'm here to take somebody's job. Everybody can't start. And so you have to have this, we're all in this together, we're teammates kind of thing, kumbaya vibe. But you also got to have like, hey, man, at the end of the day, I'm trying to feed my family. Like, I got to get on that field. And so that's what I want to see when we get into late March, early April, who's going to start to separate themselves and be like, no, I'm getting on this damn field in August.
Love it.
And it's great if you can have, Jimmy run a 9 route and just take a left turn and go straight to the sideline and have, LeJonte Wester come out, right, and just like keep these guys fresh, keep them cycled, not feel like you can't run, back-to-back vertical routes because you don't want to tire your guy out too much.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think one of the things that Jimmy, has upside is not just his experience. He's the only Jimmy on the team. Last year you had a couple of small slot receivers, that could get out there. Willie Gaines has gone, for example. Jimmy, to some degree, is the only guy right now in that room that does what he does. Small guy that's the yards after catch. A lot of these other guys are, bigger and more down the field catching the ball. So I think you're spot on, though, Jake. I appreciate you helping me out and saying you're not going to put me on the spot because it is way too early. But we got some damn talent in that room. And I know QB1 is excited because he has the guys in front of him to now give him the time to let those guys get truly into those routes downfield.
Can't wait to see how it unfolds, man. Shout out to our friends at Fubo TV. 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. You can stream live from any device and watch all your Colorado sports there. They've got Altitude so you can watch the Nuggets and Avs. They've got the Pac-12 network so you can watch Buffs basketball as both teams head on a tournament run. Sign up right now. No contract, no cable, no hassle. You'll also get 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. Hit up Fubo at FuboTV.com/DNVR and sign up at that link for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Massive fans here at DNVR. I can't live without it. Fubo's the best. So sign up today. That's it.
And that's it.
The only thing better than Fubo is the color of your Miami Vice hoodie that you always wear when I'm on with you. And I appreciate that, Jake.
Of course.
Miami Vice Jake.
Yeah, it makes up for you not supporting my Cowboys when I see you in that color.
I don't know what you want from me, man. I'm sorry.
I really just wanted to go Cowboys while we were down. That's all I wanted,
Pulling for your boys, man. You them boys.
Please.
I mean, you would have thought I was born in Ann Arbor the way I was supporting Jake in Michigan.
I gave you a We Them Boys.
After.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? I can't go back in time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the NFL.
Neely was riding harder for Michigan than Connor Stallions.
Oh, my God. Let's talk about the playoffs, Unk. Unfortunately, the Cowboys did lose. Massive bummer. I mean, I was just as bummed as anyone, I think.
That was almost believable. I appreciate that.
But we have Championship Sunday coming up. Let's start with the AFC. Lamar and the Ravens versus Mahomes and the Chiefs. What do you think about this game? Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
I love this matchup, man. I love it. I'm not going to draw this out. I'm going Ravens. I love what I see them doing defensively. I think that they are the team that can understand it's not always a good thing to blitz Mahomes, because he's more dangerous when he's running all around, and they can do their thing on the back end. And then conversely, when the Ravens have the ball, there is no other Lamar Jackson in the league. You can't have a scout team for him. You can't practice and plan for him. He can do it in the air with his legs. I like the Ravens in that matchup, man. I think they're going to the Super Bowl, and skipping all the way ahead, I think they're going to get there and win it.
I so hope you're right.
Me too.
I so hope you're right. I said this on Broncos today, and it's something that hit me at some point this week. But like, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, all the records are in danger.
Yeah.
Like, if Mahomes can take this team and win a Super Bowl, we're so fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need someone to knock them off, just so I can like go to sleep at night, not thinking that Patrick Mahomes is going to end his career with the most Super Bowls of any player ever as a Chief. I have PTSD. I'm like thinking that the Chiefs are going to somehow pull this out of their ass. So I'm going to be rooting. I am going to be rooting for the Ravens even more than Unc was rooting for Michigan.
Wow. Diehard fan over here.
Seriously. You're gonna think I'm from Baltimore if you see me at the bar on Sunday.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier in the week, you beat Mahomes, I buy your jersey. Lamar Jackson jersey will be on its way to my house. It'll be here in time for the Super Bowl. Get the all black Ravens number 8. That's how much I need Lamar to come through for us.
I didn't look at it from a Broncos fan standpoint, but I totally understand what you're saying and why you're saying it. Because if the Chiefs can lose Cheetah to Miami and still get there and win it, they're gonna win. They're gonna be in the next 4. It's like there's nobody in front of them.
They already did it once last year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then they got worse this year.
And still made it back.
They were ass the whole season.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna, oh God, please come on, Lamar.
I think the Ravens can win this game.
Oh, they can for sure.
I mean, they're 4-point favorites, but I think that they can really take advantage of what the Chiefs don't do well. You go back to the first game of the season when the Lions played the Chiefs and how they were, they had the balance, but they were really dominating on the ground. And the Chiefs didn't have a ground game. They haven't really had one. I guess Clyde Edwards-Helaire has done some stuff while Pacheco has been battling injuries. But I just think that the Ravens are such a well-rounded team that, as Unc said, they can kind of expose the Chiefs and those weaknesses because Patrick Mahomes makes up for a lot of them. But when you go up against one of the best teams in the league, they're more easily exposed.
And Ravens led the league in sacks this year. My greatest Patrick Mahomes memory was when he went up against that Buccaneers defense in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That was, just easy pressure with 4, and he was running around and couldn't do anything all game. So I'm praying that's what we get to see this week. I think Lamar is absolutely ready for it, and I'm excited for him because I think I said this earlier on the show, but like the narrative around Lamar right now kind of reminds me of the narrative around Jokic. Last year before he did. It's like, oh yeah, he's great, but when has he ever done anything in the postseason? It's like he goes and wins a Super Bowl, probably wins Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
he instantly is like, oh, 2-time MVP, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP. Like you're putting him in like at the very least top 15 quarterbacks ever.
Definitely.
Nothing to say back on that. Like it is what it is, man.
Let's go.
There's a clip on
6 championship games in a row.
Yes. Don't remind
stupid.
us.
Yeah, please. I saw a clip on Twitter yesterday of when Lamar got drafted. Do you remember who interviewed him on stage?
Prime.
Coach Prime. Interviewed him on stage. Lamar told him they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me.
Yep. and it's been popping up on my timeline more this week, which I'm very happy for. I think Lamar's high school highlight where he does the stop at the goal line, the guy goes flying by. I think that's the coldest highlight in football history.
It might be.
I could watch that an unlimited amount of times.
Didn't he do it in the NFL too, like a few years ago?
Close, but not the same. Like
right,
complete stop on like the 1 inch line. Guy goes flying by, and then just like the little strut into the end zone. Oh God, that goes so hard.
My favorite footage is actually from a pregame, and it's Marshawn Lynch driving that damn golf cart.
That's a class. There was a recruit yesterday who got offered by Cal, and he put the screenshot of that up.
That's awesome.
And what made me think of that, guys, is you talked about Coach Prime when he was with NFL Network interviewing Lamar. Another classic Coach Prime in a media sense moment is Coach Prime was the one who pulled it out of Marshawn Lynch to say, "I'm about that action. I'm just about that action." He was doing that interview. True. And Marshawn wouldn't talk to any of the press, but he talked to Deion Sanders, and he's like, "Hey, man, why are you so quiet? Why are you not doing anything?" He's about that action, boss.
Yep.
And that went viral.
Yeah, that was like an interview in like the tunnel because he was kind of like hiding. He didn't want to do the regular media day stuff, so Prime went and found him and got like one of the all-time quotes.
People forget, man. Dude's just great at everything he puts his mind to.
Yeah, including finding it at DC, so relax.
Second game, Monk. Niners, Lions. The Lions probably one of the big surprise stories of the year. They've impressed me so much this season. What do you think about that game, though, in the NFC?
I think the Cowboys beat the Lions, so there's that. And just, pointing it out chronologically.
Well, they got a little help, you might say.
Man, Green Bay got a little help when they said Dez didn't catch it. We can't rewrite history, man.
That's true.
Scoreboard. So I'm thinking in that one, man, Debo doesn't play give me Lions just off heart and emotion. Debo plays, I'm going 49ers. And when I mean play, I don't mean suit up and get dressed. I mean actually participates in the game. If he's out there, he's such a wild card factor like Lamar is. He literally changes the game like Travis does when he's on the field because it's hard to account for him. And I don't think the Lions, could sustain having a healthy Debo for 4 quarters. Debo doesn't play give me Lions because what a beautiful Cinderella story this is that this team and this franchise has accomplished this year. But I think the 49ers are going to pull it
out. 7-point spread. No one's going to yell at me for saying that this week. 7-point spread in favor of the Niners is a bit shocking to see in a championship game. And I was just trying to kind of think about why and what might lead to that. To me, the biggest thing here is that the Lions have been propelled by the city of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much support. Jared Goff said last week they're chanting his name before the game, and it like calmed his nerves. It calmed him down. Well, that ain't happening this week.
Yep.
And I think there's a chance that they have an emotional letdown of just not being able to have 70, 80,000 people all pushing you together towards that goal. It's been a Cinderella story, but a lot of times those things come to an end when you don't have, the home crowd on your back.
On the flip side, though, it's like a David versus Goliath thing almost, though, because the Niners have been in, 3 of the last 4 NFC title games?
Yeah.
Something like that. They've been one of the best teams in the entire NFL the last 5 years or so, basically since Kyle was hired there. And the Lions, everyone knows what the Lions are. Jared Goff's kind of this story, too, of like a reclamation project in a way. The entire city of Detroit is in a way. So I think that them growing on the road, it doesn't really scare me as much because I think that there's just a lot that's been built up to this team, to this moment. And honestly, they're just a damn good football team. I've been impressed with them all year long, how well-rounded they are. Both sides of the ball. I think I'm going to put a money line bet on the Lions this weekend.
Wow. I love that. I love the confidence. They're built really cool. I love the way that they've designed this team. It is these nasty trenches and some power football mixed in with incredibly fast electric players like Jahmyr Gibbs, like Jamison Williams, then Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, it's this cool kind of combination of speed and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge fan of a nasty trench.
Dear God.
My Lord. So you've got Niners, Ravens in the Super Bowl, Unc?
I got Niners, Ravens in the Super Bowl, Ravens winning it all.
All right.
Niners, Ravens in the Super Bowl would confirm the logo theory.
I know. It's crazy.
Have you seen this, Unc?
I have. You know, I'm always amazed whether it is, people who see a bad call or two and think the NFL is rigged, but they never put money on games.
It's true. Well, I'm going to be screaming about the NFL being rigged if the Chiefs win, because the referee calling the game in the NFL, home teams win 55% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
When this fool's calling the game, home teams win 40% of the time.
Yeah. I saw that tweet.
I will be screaming up and down the streets of downtown Denver that the NFL is rigged if the Chiefs
Doesn't he average like 4.5 more home penalties a game or something like that too?
It's insane. I'll also be drunk, so
don't
hold it against me.
We all will be. I'm gonna go Lions, Ravens.
All right, so we have all. Oh no, I have Chiefs, Niners.
That's close to all the combinations.
Yeah.
If Alyssa did, what
Chiefs,
Lions? Is that your pick, Alyssa? There you go. We got all four of them.
One of us is gonna be right.
All right. Let's get to questions and wrap up today. What do we got, Alyssa? Jay, when is the DNVR Plank Challenge? The losers must make large donations to the 5430 Foundation. My money is on Alyssa to win it.
Wow.
My money is on Alyssa to win it too, and define large. So I'll just go ahead and make my donation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can mandate a company event where the loser has to donate a large amount of money.
Yeah. How long do you think you could do a plank for?
Define plank.
Toes and elbows, basically, man.
No, but you remember the plank challenge where you just lay on something odd like a mailbox?
Yes.
Yep.
Shit, I could do that for hours.
Do you remember the coning challenge that happened before that? Which is you go to McDonald's and order an ice cream cone?
Oh my God, bro, yes.
I had like one of the first 5 videos of that on YouTube. And he got like 150,000 views.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
We just I don't know how we saw it one night on like the original guy that did it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's go do this. We were just bored. So we went and did it. And I just remember there was like 5,000 comments about how annoying my ex-girlfriend's laugh was.
Is that why she's an ex?
No, much better reasons than that.
No, because look, RK, you are a brilliantly funny guy, right?
Thank you.
And I don't know if you can turn it off. And so if someone is around you with an annoying laugh, it's just not going to work.
Well,
Fair
I
point.
appreciate that. That's a great compliment.
DJ Flame to you at the super chat says, "What's up, gents? Unc, I gotta ask, can you tell us about how you developed such a great relationship with Chef Carl, and can you speak on the impact you believe he has had on recruiting?"
Oh wow, man! Great question. I think it goes back to just the way I was raised, man. Like I don't walk in a building or an environment and think just because someone's working in service that they're less than other people. So, I'm going to treat custodians or chefs like I treat Coach Prime, and that's with the utmost respect for their craft and what they bring to the table. And then after getting to know Chef and his personality, I was like, man, we got to start capturing some of this stuff because you clearly love what you do. And thirdly, I do think that it has had a big impact on recruiting because when we get kids to come for visits, the first thing they want to do is go by the cafeteria and see Chef Carl Solomon, what they're putting together. They're looking forward to the meals. Even when new players transferred in, their first days in the cafeteria, it's like, oh, yeah, this is what I've been waiting on. And so, Coach Prime has always said, Mama wants to know a couple things. Where's her baby going to sleep and what he's going to eat? And so I think having that cafeteria and Chef Carl, the way he's running it, is a big plus for our recruiting efforts.
Love it, man.
I love it. Plus, Neely sees him 3 times a day.
I know.
At least.
You know
Never
what?
misses.
He might catch me doing a snack, so.
And bringing a plate home after the day's over too.
Hey, you got to do that. I mean, you were talking about the guy earlier. You
Yep.
know, you can't help but have a to-go meal. Like it's so much damn food. It's like, okay, I got to take this home.
That's amazing. I mean, I just think of all the money that you save, and then you eat better than you would have anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's sometimes it's cheaper being in Boulder than here because here I got to feed myself. Hey, so, I saw a question about an email to contact me. It's Uncle Neely at thepregameshow.com. Uncle Neely at thepregameshow.com.
There you go. What's up, Connor? Beavers with a big win over Arizona last night, man.
Dude, shout out Arizona. What frauds. Big win for the Beavs, though. Good. That was electric finish.
That was a crazy end of the game.
You know what sucks about Arizona fans?
What?
They just every time they lose, they turn like directly on the players.
This is why I turned the game on, though, is because everyone was bitching about what's going on, and I was like, I gotta see this.
Like, obviously, all fan bases, you know, they're gonna have fans who lose their mind after a game and want to blame someone. But I'm always seeing Arizona fans be like, "This guy is just not good enough. He's doing a disgrace to the jersey." Yeah. It's like, these are kids, man.
Yeah.
Blame the coach.
I agree.
And I hate to see that even when people announce they're transferring or changing their commitment, and you see kids get attacked. Like, we got to learn, not only are there people who are staying with you seeing that kind of stuff, there's people in 9th, 10th, 11th grade and think about getting in the portal that are seeing that stuff. Like, you can't attack a student athlete because it doesn't go your way, man.
Amen.
Connor asked if Trevor Woods is going to be playing linebacker or safety. Do you have any insight on that?
I don't, but, we saw him move around last year. I think that, in deference to the new DC, your number one goal is to always get your best 11 on the field and then come up with combinations of that best 11 of how they work and play together. And Trevor's, he certainly has a physical talent, don't get me wrong, but his football IQ really keeps him out there, particularly when there's a time that Shiloh isn't there, because they are very vocal in helping people get in their spots. And again, like I said earlier, I don't know the linebacker room yet. I know who we had coming back, such as Levante Bentley and that kind of thing, but going to be interesting to see how the leadership steps up there. And do you bring an experienced safety like Trevor down sometimes, or even insert a Herman Smith because of his size? Going to be interesting to watch the spring ball and see how it's navigating.
Love it.
I know it's the dead of off season because people are fighting about Trevor Woods in the comments. It's a favorite. It's a favorite of the comments.
It's the go-to topic for them.
It just like it was this time last year. It was
exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
I remember well.
Moto Jojo says, think we are going to pick anyone else up from the portal before the spring?
Man, the portal gives and it takes away. I think that transitionally speaking, you always have to just have as RK said, 55% of the home team wins. I think you have to have a notion that there's a 55% chance that portal door is going to open one way or the other, between now and April 27th. So I wouldn't be betting against it, that not only is someone coming, but someone's going to leave as well.
Yeah, I think there's a chance maybe they get one or two more before spring, but after spring, there's gonna be a moment there again.
Oh yeah,
maybe 5 to 10, changes on the team.
Mm-hmm. And we still have BJ Green visiting this week too, so we still might have someone coming in.
And Julian Lewis.
That's right.
You just had a grad student offensive lineman decide to hit the portal. It's one of those things, man, where people are going to go where they think they have the best opportunity to play, and that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them here or that they don't have talent here. It's all about opportunity, man. And as this thing goes across the spring semester and into the culmination of the spring game, that final spring practice, you're going to see, just like you saw last year, that door is going to open. Some people are going to go out of it, and some people are going to come in it.
All right, let's get through. We got a few of these, so let's get through them. DJ Flame to you says, hey, Jake, yesterday you said the number one player from Michigan you would want. How was Donovan Edwards not your number one guy to come to Colorado? I love Donovan Edwards. We just haven't seen Colorado attack running back.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't think that. One, I don't think he'd enter the portal because I think he waited a long time to be the lead back there. And two, I don't think Colorado's really, they don't feel any urgency to go get someone at running back. And I feel like they would have already.
Good point.
Let me say this about the RB room in these 2 weeks of January that have gone by with strength and conditioning. I want to preface this, guys, because sometimes when you say you like peanut butter, somebody takes that as that you hate bologna. So when I say something good about a player, it doesn't mean I'm saying something bad about other ones. But Alto McCaskill is looking good, man. Like he is moving around well in the drills. His energy is up. He's vocal. He is chiming in when the group is asked questions, not just the RBs, the team. I'm interested to see how that continues across the spring, and that could be one of those reasons when you look at Dylan back there, you look at Savion Wilkerson back there, you look at Alto, you still have a three-headed monster on this team that can get you yards in different kind of ways. So I look forward to seeing what we saw in Houston out of McCaskill now in Colorado, because you didn't get to see that last year.
E for Eddie with the super chat. What are the different reasons that guys get re-offered? Either changes in the coaching staff or
position coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of these guys get offered when they're like in 8th grade.
Right.
So a lot changes before they're ready to go commit somewhere, and they got to get re-offered.
Yep.
To reaffirm that.
Yeah, and then always remind folks out there that when coaching changes happen, the rules change in the player's favor.
Yep,
for sure. Big Teasy, shout out to Jake R.K. Neely and the FDP Alyssa. What does that mean?
Funky dope producer?
That's right. Okay.
That's what I call
her. Matt says, any updates on Bishop?
I have not been in Colorado this week. I get back Sunday, but I can still affirm I haven't seen him and haven't heard anything. And I think at this point, wishing him all the best, because he became a near and dear friend from a coaching and mentor standpoint. Absolutely wish him the best, but it's not something that I'm expecting that to be a change, because it would have changed by now.
All right, there you go.
How about this one?
Mama Tia with the $100 super chat.
$100 super chat from Mama Tia. What a legend.
She says, waving hello, Uncle Neely and DNVR. Jake, I was sensitive to the PTSD comment. I must get on you as Coach Prime states often you never know who is listening or watching. This is the only outlet for some. Just trust is key. Love your channel, Mama Tia. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Totally understand. Totally
yeah,
understand.
for sure. Didn't mean to offend anyone.
No, of course not. Of course not. That was my fault, I think.
I don't even remember what we're talking about.
No,
honestly.
but I understand, and you're right.
Thank you, Mama Tia. Appreciate your support.
Shout out to Mama Tia, man. She is a huge supporter of the pregame show platform, man. Not only with coming with the super chats and the love, but the sharing and the commenting, all the way from the Carolinas, man. So when you got a show popping off from Colorado and I'm here in Mississippi and someone on the East Coast is that loyal, you got to give them a plug. Appreciate you, Mama Tia.
Yeah, the support's been amazing. She has another $20 super chat. She says she doesn't edit and trust is key. Appreciate you.
Trust
Thank you.
is key, for sure.
Baron with the super chat. Always love the show. Will there be new uniform combos next year? And are there team NIL deals?
Sometimes there are team NIL deals. I don't think we've seen one yet at Colorado. We have seen like a lot of the guys get with that Phil Long Ford, but not like the whole team type of thing. So it'd be cool to see. Someone should pull it off.
Yeah, I think that uniform-wise, there's going to certainly be new combinations. The uniform budget went up substantially. Shout out to Smitty and Coach Prime for getting that done. And as it relates to team NIL deals, you do have some things that come in for the entire team, like whether it's Snoop Dogg who sent the bandanas, or Coach Prime his shades, or Michael Strahan and some clothing stuff is happening.
That's true.
I have not seen, like you just mentioned, where there's a car dealership that says, hey, here's something for everybody. Phil Long has been doing a great job with select players that they want that match what their marketing strategy is. But there have been some team NIL stuff as far as, specific products, Beats headphones, that kind of things.
Okay. Yeah, I spoke too soon, I guess. Or I spoke out of turn.
Got to be better, bro. They just keep rolling. Caleb with the super chat. How many players do you think leave during the spring portal opening? Also, do we think Welch gets extended reps during the season? We said around, I think 5 to 10 is what we'd expect to maybe hit the portal at least.
Yeah.
And
Also,
then,
I saw our guy Justin Meyer said he's watching.
Yeah.
Shout out Justin. We're actually, as soon as we're done here, if you guys stop super chatting, just kidding. As soon as we're done here, we're gonna record something with Justin that you guys will see probably next week.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. I don't know about Michael Welch, young player, but he's looking like he's legit player already.
He's built for it.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Tay R says, "Do you think Bishop plays this year at all?"
We don't know. There's
You
no
mean
point in
somewhere
trying
or
to guess.
Colorado? Like I think at this point, now that we're getting so close to February 1st, that it's not likely to be Colorado unless he shows up, post spring or something or later in the semester.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, fellas. Whether it's a Coach Prime operation or the NFL, the best ability is availability. And if you're not available, things have to take place and move on, and the train is moving. And that's not a diss to any individual. That's just the nature of this business.
Taylor with another super chat. Who gets freshman of the year on the team? I'll go with Draylon Miller.
Jordan Seaton's got to be like minus 300.
Yeah, but tackles,
Yeah, no, he's got a tough job for sure. Draylon Miller is gonna be able to make the big flashy plays.
You have a guess?
I'm with you. I think that Jordan is going to have the biggest impact as a freshman for sure because of the change in offensive line, but it's not going to get the splash that someone scoring points does.
Then William Berry McCaskill will have 1,000 rushing yards this year due to being 100% healthy. He had close to 1,000 yards as a freshman at Houston before he tore his ACL his sophomore year. Yeah, I agree.
That would be transformational.
It really
would. 1,000-yard rusher.
Yes.
I'd love for that to happen.
Heaven's Demon says, Uncle Neely, what's your favorite dish from Carl Solomon or from Chef Solomon?
So I'm going to go two ends of the spectrum here. I'm going to go simple and complex. There is nothing like his tomato soup and using that grilled cheese sandwich as the spoon.
That's
wow. Simplicity.
And then on the high end, Chef makes a wonderful crab cake.
Damn.
A very versatile chef.
Yeah.
Truly.
Tayar super chatted the same thing. Appreciate you. Caleb with one more. Also, I know it's extremely early, but who do you guys think are our starting wide receivers? We have a lot of talent and only one number two. I tried not to ask you this, Unc, but the people are asking you this. So now you
I can't do it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You could close your eyes and kind of draw straws, man. When you look at, speed and workout intensity, like they're all there and showing up. I got to wait until we, practice it in April. And when you and I, Jake and RK are doing those practice updates every other day or so, that's when I want to see what's happening at wide receiver. Because right now it is deep and wide open.
Yep.
I mean, the guy who we all think might be the best receiver this year, Will Shepherd, isn't even there yet. So it's
totally, and that's what Zay Weaver was last year.
Exactly. So, that it?
I think we have. Okay, that's it.
Awesome.
All
Appreciate you, Unc. You're back next week, right?
Sunday.
Yeah, I get back Sunday, man. So I'll be in the studio one day next week whenever you guys want to have me up and do about a 2-week run in Boulder. So we got plenty of time to go.
And you'll be singing the Empire jingle.
There ain't no damn doubt about that. I might remix it.
Last second from Bake ZD said, love the collab with Unc. What's the scholarship commitment total now?
We don't know.
I have no idea.
I know they're not all gone. I know that.
Yes.
Yep. Got a couple left. So there we go. That is it.
That's it.
We're going to talk to Justin Myers soon.
Yep. All right, Unc. Appreciate you, man. You guys will hear from him next week. Skol Buffs?
Skol Buffs.
We all city like the mayor.